It started with a single image that went viral online. At first glance, it looked like just another still from The Simpsons, the iconic animated sitcom we've been watching for decades. But this screenshot was different. It seemed to mirror a real-life moment, one that hadn't even happened yet when the episode first aired. For more than 30 years, The Simpsons has entertained us with sharp wit, satire, and absurd family adventures. But time and again, fans around the world point to something more mysterious lurking beneath the comedy, predictions that somehow leap from the TV screen into real life. From world politics to technological breakthroughs, and even global disasters, The Simpsons has created moments that feel less like jokes and more like glimpses of the future. Coincidence? Clever writing? Or something that borders on prophecy? The glowing orb one of the strangest examples dates back to 2002. In that episode, we see a cartoon version of Donald Trump standing in front of a glowing orb, flanked by two men in traditional Middle Eastern attire. The image was bizarre. Why would the writers create such a surreal and oddly specific scene? Fast forward to 2017. A real photograph emerges from Saudi Arabia. President Donald Trump, King Salman of Saudi Arabia, and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, all standing around a glowing orb at the inauguration of a global security center. The resemblance to the Simpsons episode was uncanny. When the photo hit the internet, people immediately dug up that old clip. How could a cartoon from 15 years earlier capture this strange moment so accurately? Trump's presidency. The glowing orb wasn't the first time The Simpsons linked Donald Trump to politics. Back in 1998, in an episode called Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson casually mentions inheriting quite a budget crunch from President Trump. At the time, it was played as a gag. Trump was just a flashy real estate mogul and reality TV figure. The idea of him becoming president seemed absurd, the kind of over-the-top joke the show was known for. But in 2016, when Trump actually won the presidency, that throwaway line became legendary. Fans started combing through old episodes to see what else might have come true. And then another episode appeared to hint at Ivanka Trump running for president in 2028. Was it a coincidence? A satire that accidentally hit too close to home? Or, as some joked, was The Simpsons secretly writing America's future political script? Artificial intelligence uprising. Another eerie prediction came from a 2016 episode where the family visits an amusement park powered entirely by robots. At first, it's a futuristic dream, machines running rides, serving food, and providing endless entertainment. But the fun quickly collapses into chaos when the robots rebel against their human guests. It seemed like playful parody at the time. But look around today. Self-driving cars are on our streets, robot waiters serve customers in Japan, and artificial intelligence is woven into everything from medicine to art. Tech pioneers like Jürgen Schmidhuber and Elon Musk warn of unchecked AI growth and the dangers it may bring. When you look back at that Simpsons episode, it doesn't feel so silly anymore. It feels like a cautionary tale. Translating baby talk, not all predictions were dark. One episode introduced an invention that could translate a baby's cries, giggles, and gurgles into understandable speech. At the time, it was hilarious and ridiculous. Who could imagine such a device existing? Yet today, researchers are experimenting with sound analysis technology aimed at doing exactly that. The idea that a parent could open an app and instantly know whether their baby is hungry, tired, or sick suddenly doesn't feel so far-fetched. Once again, The Simpsons seems to have joked about the future long before it arrived. Virtual reality dining in one of the show's famous Treehouse of Horror specials. Homer and Marge are seen dining on elaborate meals while wearing virtual reality headsets. They savor food that isn't physically there, enjoying a surreal dinner entirely in digital space. At the time, it was absurd. How could you eat food that wasn't real? But today, VR dining is becoming a reality. Tech companies and luxury cruise ships are experimenting with immersive eating experiences where sights, sounds, and even tastes are manipulated to create the illusion of gourmet meals. The Simpsons writers laughed at the idea decades ago. Now it's an emerging industry. Holograms everywhere. In another episode, characters casually receive holographic invitations. What seemed like pure science fiction at the time now feels like a glimpse of our near future. High-definition holographic projections already exist. Companies are working on hologram-based communication that could soon replace video calls. If this happens, Then the futuristic vision shown in The Simpsons will once again have proven to be ahead of its time. Subliminal music messages. One of the strangest predictions came from an episode about a boy band that secretly hid subliminal messages in its songs, encouraging fans to join the Navy. At first glance, it was just goofy satire. But history tells us that music and entertainment have been used as propaganda tools many times. From war-era songs to hidden political messaging and popular culture, the concept isn't as ridiculous as it seemed. Some fans now look at that episode less as a joke and more as a quiet warning. The pandemic episode. Perhaps one of the most unsettling parallels came from a 1993 episode called Margin Chains. In it, Springfield is struck by a flu epidemic after residents are exposed to germs from imported goods. The illness spreads rapidly, and the town descends into panic. It was meant as comedy, exaggerating how hysteria spreads faster than disease. But when COVID-19 swept across the world in 2020, many people immediately recalled that Simpsons episode. The similarities were uncomfortable. Was it just a lucky guess? Or another eerie prediction that came true decades later? Flying cars. The dream of flying cars has been with us for generations. And The Simpsons took a playful jab at it in a 2005 episode where Bart and Lisa glimpse a future full of cars zooming through the skies. For years, it seemed like pure fantasy. But in recent years, companies like Samsung Sky have developed prototypes. Their flying car, the Switchblade, has already taken successful test flights. While it's still expensive and far from mainstream, the once comedic Simpsons vision is inching closer to reality. A world on the edge beyond specific predictions. The Simpsons often paints a darker, more apocalyptic picture of the future. In various episodes, Springfield collapses into chaos after systems break down. Homer warns drunkenly about the end of the world. Entire plots revolve around societal collapse, rogue technology, and impending doom. On the surface, they're jokes. But beneath the laughter lies a reflection of real fears. Climate change, nuclear conflict, pandemics, and runaway AI. Fans often wonder if these episodes are more than comedy, if they're subtle cautionary tales warning us to take action before it's too late. World War jokes and real tensions even. Jokes about global conflict have taken on a haunting quality. In one old episode, Homer casually jokes about World War III, played for laughs as usual. But in today's world of escalating global tensions, that throwaway gag feels less like comedy and more like a chilling echo of possible futures. The hope in The Simpsons, and yet, for all the doom and gloom, the heart of The Simpsons has always been about more than satire. It's about hope. Even in its darkest storylines, there's always a flicker of light. Marge's unwavering optimism, Lisa's intellect, and even Homer's clumsy good nature remind us of humanity's resilience. Maybe the show's predictions aren't meant to scare us. Maybe they're meant to inspire us, to prepare for what's coming, to innovate, to stay cautious, and above all, to remember that even when the world feels chaotic, there's still reason to hope. Coincidence, satire, or something more? So what are we to make of all these eerie parallels? Are the writers of The Simpsons simply masters of satire, exaggerating cultural trends that later happen to come true? Are we seeing patterns because we want to see them? Or is there something stranger going on? Something about art and imagination that occasionally taps into the real future? As we move deeper into 2025, the line between fantasy and reality grows thinner. And whether it's coincidence or prophecy, one thing is certain. The Simpsons has left us with more questions than answers. And maybe that's what makes it timeless. It makes us laugh. It makes us think. And every once in a while, it makes us wonder if this cartoon family from Springfield knows something we don't.